Hello, everyone. Welcome. I welcome you warmly to this episode from NDISCO'S Village Meeting Podcast. This is our series 3, episode 26. How on a day? A day, can't we? Thanks for asking. A lot of you have asked, but they haven't heard from me lately. There's been a whole lot on my plate, but with deep gratitude, I am able to come be in your midst again. So how's everything doing or going? I hope we're doing great. This is your hostess, Dr. Marcellina and Ndidi, M.OPARAOJI, leading your discussions. Now, this particular topic today, I have been doing research on forever, asking a lot of questions of people, especially back at the homestead. And what I want you to do is to use this idea to go do your own little digging in your own community. So this is about our way of life. Like I said, this deals with Africa, society, and culture. And that includes what goes on around us, whether you are back at the homestead or somewhere in diaspora, but you're African of a certain community or a certain origin. So you ask the question or the questions. So one of the things I wanted to um, talk about today is to, if I can share that, is, no, that's not what I want to share. Oof, no, no. There you go. Okay, here you go. Share on this topic here. This came about when actually it's been almost 5 or 6 young ones who have asked this question. I kept pushing back to give a response to make sure that I am getting at least some part of this right. And this is a topic where I am inviting everybody who has any idea. Don't be an armchair critic. Some of you are not even critics, they criticize. This is where I want you to bring your input. Don't just sit there and draw a line across what other people are doing. You don't just thumb down or, put negative stuff to it. Help us to really get this information across to our young ones. They need that. It's not really, most of you adults can actually use the information, but if you don't, pass it down to your children. This is an important one. And if you all permit me, charity begins at home. So I'm using my community back home. And those of you who know me know I am one of the shameless class person or community person. I am from Mbaise. There is no if or buts about that. This Adam Mbaise will always talk about my community. So I'm using that as an example today. So if you're from another community, go do that digging that I just did on what you have. That's how we preserve our culture, our way of life. Because when they are lost, they're lost. So this might be controversial to some people because we don't all agree on everything. But if majority agrees on a particular thing, that is how we roll in these communities. So the question is always coming, what is considered the official festive soup of Mbaise Nation, for example, of your community, of any other community? Can No, so at the end of this, I want you to go back and answer the question, can you identify, or can I identify one, one festive soup that belongs solely to my community of origin? That's what I want you to do. So let's dig in. Um, we always hear, or most of the time, we know people from what they give out. When we talk about jollof rice, like everybody else hears about it now, we hear Nigeria, Ghana. They may not even be the owners, but they finessed that cooking. They're taking the glory off of the shoulders of the Wolof people who started of I think it's Senegal or Gambia, who originated jollof rice. They now everybody has it, and it's like writing a dissertation. There's nothing new, but how you make yours from information out there to carve your own and make it yours. That's what it becomes. Or writing a master's thesis, you are taking information that somebody else has already written out there to now complete and make it yours, and put original ideas to that. So that's what food is all about. You cannot say ofo worry and attribute that to somewhere else. You know, it's worry mean soup. You cannot talk about owa without remembering the Wawa people. You can't talk about achara and forgetting that the Moher people and a whole lot of that. So we call it Yeji Maramba. That's what you know people for. Okay. So going back to that, I am going to talk of I will go back to my I'm sorry, the stuff that I put up before, because I have a follow-up to that. So in Mbaise, we have, and this is where the controversy goes, the Ogumano. Many have responded whenever you ask which one is the main soup. Like we say, the yam is the king of the crop. So when there is any festive like the Iri Bise and all that, is the pounded yam. And the pounded yam or the cassava, the sister to that, or pounded any other thing, goes with the main soup. So even if you give somebody rice, you give them everything over and everything. If they have not eaten swallow, we have not started. So let's talk about Ugumanu. It's known for being the first of the soups. Ugu means, the ugu vegetable. Manu, because a lot of oil is used, red oil is used to prepare this. It's actually a vegetable soup, but today the vegetable soup what we prepare is a little bit different, because the one that our forefathers or foremothers, if I will use that, is the one that is done with ofe mpoto. So mpoto is the soft, the really the um, budding area aspects of a cocoyam crop. And they take that aspect, the soft aspect, wash them well, cut them up. Either they dry them before they use them, or they cook them till really the toxins, because it's very toxic if you don't prepare it very well. You feel that by something in your throat that is itchy. So it's cooked really, really well with all these vegetables. And because today the cocoyam is really dying, like somebody said, we don't have that, and it's the red cocoyam that people use. And I was told that, and or reminded of that. And those are no longer that many out there. So they now use water leaf, spinach, whatever, to do today's vegetable soup. But the original of, let me say, ogumana is that made with mpoto. And the funny thing, is that this was a soup where you put, everything into. You will have things like crabs, they call it shiko. You have, crayfish. You have, if you have stockfish, you put, if you have even termites that have been dried or fried, you have ololo, is another kind of insects that are, harvested. Even the pupa. I think it's called the pupa, something to the iruru, dried iruru, all these things, even grasshoppers or, you know, um, that kind of, that are dried and added. So it goes with a whole lot of things that it's very rich and it's medicinal because of all these things that feed on the vegetation out there that are put into this particular soup. But if you ask, there's a divide between those who say it's a gumano and those who say it's a goosey soup with okazi or ogo. So a goosey is origin of the eastern part of Nigeria, according to the records out there. But it doesn't, that's not from Mbise. But there is this thing that if you come to Mbaise, surrounded by other areas, like some aspects by the Ngwa people, some aspects by the Umuahia from the Keduru, and you just name Bano. So there is always the tendency that some of these people at the neighboring aspect will pick from their neighbors to make the dish because the marriage is thing is going on, and wherever you get people to come into other areas, they continue their own cultures and traditions, and so that may be why the gusi aspect came in. But Ogumanu is what is recorded as that. The other aspect that people also battle with is between Ogumanu and Araga. Araga, like we call it, and some people call it Araga, but some people also say Okoroba. Okoroba because this soup has okoro in it and oba in it. Um, and a whole lot of, you know, ingredients, all types of fish, meat, and all that. It's really, I haven't eaten it anywhere else than in Mbise from our elders or ladies. And I learned how to do it too. And many of us learned how to make this wonderful soup. It's not easy to make, but if you know what to do, it's really not hard. Um, Miriogo. This one is from the Jews of Ajumbise. Mbise is the originator of Ajumbise. Ajumbise is what is given to a postpartum mother. Okay, it has medicinal properties to them. And if you look at one of my old, go back to my series, one of them, I spent a whole lot of time on Ajumbise to show you the benefits of Ajumbise and much more. So please refer to that. It's one also that we cherish. We not only use it for the postpartum person, every member of the family loves to eat this particular type of soup from time to time. Number 4 is ekiroku. Ekiroku is just some kind of watery, it's like, I don't want to call it gravy. It's not thickened. It's a kind of soup that actually people who ask for those are those who have been sick or they can't eat anything else. It's spicy. And this is where you put a little bit of everything into, especially the little fish. If you listen to Flavor, Wanyumbise song, you will hear where he was teasing Genevieve Naji as somebody who cooks former with umururazu. Umururazu. So umururazu is part of this ekeroku, and a little bit more of this and that. It's really, you got to know how to do that. Not many people can do ekeroku nowadays anymore. Ofe ufonku, ufonku. Ufonku is when you the red palm fruit boiled, and you separate the oil from it. It's hand processed most of the time. The the product of the liquid of that extraction is used to make any type of soup you want. Ofede with oha, we also cook that a lot, but they're not the number one. Ofede and oha, ofede and ogo, ofede and okazi is the cocoyam that is called ede. So when you have that as the thickener for where you add oha, ogo, and every other ingredient for those who know how to make the soup, it is also what Mbaise loves. Ofogiri. Okay, we have this other, actually people sometimes call this ekeroko, as in number 4. Ofogiri. Ogiri is the pumpkin seed, not the ogiri, awusa or ogiri that we get from any other area, but Mbaise loves their ogiri from the pumpkin. They allow it to ferment, and they add it to this ogiri soup, where you have also apupofe from the what do we call it now? The afufa. I'm trying to remember the English word for that. The leaves of those are added to the ogiri to bake a good ofe or wekara that people used to eat a whole lot. Ofe ndoroba. Ndoroba is a sister to ha, but a different species altogether. Also, with a day, you can make ofe ndoroba with that, as the leaves that make that ofe ndoroba. Ofubogoro. Ubogoro is also another species too. It's like ogo, but with a different kind of texture, and the leaves are a little bit thorny. Ofubogoro is another one where you just use your hand to break up. You don't even have to cut it to pieces like ogo. And some people put ogiri on it. It's really interesting if you can cook that. But not many people know how to do that nowadays. The elder stew, that's why I made this on that soup, sauces, and gravies. The elder stew is the stew that they make without the tomatoes. So everything else is in it, but the tomatoes. So they call it the elder stew, which is also another way. Some people decide they don't want to call it elder stew. They call it red oil onion stew. Some people call it fry. Our old mothers didn't know how to make stew, so they will cook fry. But let me tell you, the taste of this fry is better than whatever we do today. They will just no. Even to perfume the odor from this fry will make you want to eat rice by force. So I don't know how they cook that, but some people still have that art of cooking onion stew for their specialties or for their dishes. So the other specialties that I talked about, that have been in existence, but they're no longer, I think they're dying. And this is what some of us in Mbaise land need to go back and start asking questions. Why are we letting this die? Oswaka. Oswaka is almost like the, I think it's, the another aspect is a snack kind of. It's made from the maize, you know. Some people say it's the same as moyoka, but some people say it's not. So you go figure. Jiagwarawo. You see a lot of these during the yam festival. Jiagwarawo is not the porridge yam. Jagwarawa is, it could be roasted, the yam could be boiled, but then they will make ngo with it and put everything else and manu and oil to just um, uh, turn it around and put any other thing that everybody wants or spices or pepper. That's in Jawarawa, which is different from yam porridge that are all just boiled and pieces and made porridge out of it. It's almost like you don't get the lumps. And these are some of the things we eat during the yam festival. Jim Miracle is the yams are made big spicy, I mean pieces, and or maybe medium, or some do small, but all the ingredients are put in to make the watery aspect like a rock type that people also can use in eating anything else or just the yam. Some of these, when people are sick, these are recommended a whole lot because it really elevates their appetites. Jahurahu, the roasted yam, is the one that you normally see at Ayajoko because that's the one that is dipped in oil or spiced oil. The crayfish, red palm oil rice. Somebody told me this, and I'm like, I've never eaten that before, but hey, anything is possible. You picture it, it's the crayfish and the red oil. It's not bleached oil, it's the pure red oil, and then cooked with rice. Some of these things, their tastes are out of this world. Believe me, you don't have to kill these things with a lot of spices. Simple, the better. Then we have the porridge okwa. That's the specialty nowadays when you go to an event. You will see people, if the big heads in the community, they get the okwa. The poor man will complain when we go to weddings or funerals or anything. The poor man doesn't get the okwa anymore. Well, that's what life is all about. So porridge okwa is there. At least that one is not dying soon. I think we began to realize the nutritional value of okwa. And on the internet, there are so many ways to prepare that. But then number 8 is we have boiled okwa with skin. So the okwa is washed very well with the skin, boiled, and then you have and sometimes they have some water in it that you could also have the you can really use the spoon to consume the liquid part with the okwa itself, so you can eat it and taking the softer part and then chew out or throw out the skins. But then we have the one that is boiled okra that is also made up with ngo, as if it's oba. But this is just okra with its skin on it. So that one also has been in existence. I don't think many people do those ones anymore. Or I think we got too lazy or afraid of whatever. We have roasted okra, the one you see in bottles, the skins are all taken off. That's the roasted okra also that we all eat. Those are great snacks. We are blessed with so much, in abundance of all these snacks that sometimes we ignore. And then we go buy stuff that are fried and all that, oily and all that. But these are all naturally provided to us. I've talked about no, let me go back to number 10. Porridge cocoyam. Well, I think some people will still do that. There's porridge cocoyam. That's just like porridge yam, but with cocoyam. This was when our ancestors or our fathers or forefathers used to produce a lot of cocoyam. I don't know what happened. It's no longer like it used to be out there. They keep saying, I don't know why we let that die, but we could bring that back. Okay. Um, Moi Moyoka, I talked about it when I talked about Usoka. They say it might be the same, but maybe not. I don't know. Boiled ono. Ona is in also the families of the yams and the cocoyams and all that. But it's a little bit tougher to cook. It takes longer time to cook. And then you just peel it off. And it has a distinct taste. And not everybody warm up to the taste of Ona. But it could be, it's really another good, or Ono, like some people will call it. Owambise is still different from the rest of the words that you see everywhere else. I don't know what they put in it, but I think it's in preparation and in how long we allow some aspect of that to ferment and the processing. That's actually what it is. The Owambise sells high in the markets, higher than any other Oba out there. I heard. Um, Porridge. Unripe plantain is made into porridge, just like the yam, or other aspect of banana species. There are shorter versions of bananas out there that are used, and these are all very nutritious and nutritional as well. The one that I got better that I forgot, I thought I put it on there, is akara japu. Akara japo is so important. I was watching a Philippine lady, a Filipino, like we call them, doing a cooking um, uh, vlog the other day, and she was cutting up her little. She boiled the cassava and started cutting them up, just eating it like that. And then another day, she just grated the cassava and then made it into some kind of balls and fry them and eat it. It was crispy too, the look of it and all that. And we used to have a lot of akarajapo in the past. I don't know what happened. So these are the aspects I wanted to bring to our attention and say, um, as far as we know, as far as we can tell. Um, we need to go back to basics. We can't let our food die because that's what makes us. And what are you know, we love the way now that when you talk about food, Africa is known out there. You talk about fashion, Africa is reigning out there. You talk about music, Africa is reigning out there. So which of them is from your community? So we are proud in MBC in the sense that when you talk about uh, music, we say we have a Bibo. We ask about, artists. We have a lot of them. You have so many things. We do have the number one seat of Reverend Fathers and Sisters in the whole world. We produce those and much more academics and much more. But what we are losing track of now is our food. We need to go back to basics. We need to agree on what is ours, what is originally ours. And I throw this challenge to the number one organization that governs Mbaise is Mbaise. It's a challenge to you, dear sirs and mas, to please put together something that is all encompassing about Mbise, including the food, what is ours, what is borrowed, what is originally ours. And on that note, I am calling this fun discussion time. I'm calling it ahead because talking about these things are making me feel hungry. I don't know about you. But I think I feel like eating some maraga soup at this moment. But that's just me. But let us not dwell on other people's food, propagating it for them. We have so much we can offer ourselves and the world and our children. need to learn what is ours so that they don't pick up what doesn't belong to us and call it theirs. And on that note, I remind us to please subscribe. It's free, okay? You have the audio version and you also have the YouTube version. And it's spreading, I'm almost everywhere, except the next point is the Apple aspect that is being worked on now. But keep subscribing, keep watching, keep sharing. All these are yours, okay? Thank you so much. Again, this is your host, Dr. Marcellina Ndidi M.OPARAOJI, saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful one.